I got a tattoo.
You got a tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Well, can't show you that.
Sure you can. Come on.
No. Carrie
it
said
at?
I can't show anyone where I got my tattoo.
Come on.
Oh, let me get up here then.
Oh, good grief.
Hi, and welcome to This is Gravel. I'm Bobby Thompson, and with me is... You can say your name.
I can just say my own name?
You can say your own name.
LeLan.
Leland who?
Danes.
Yes, I like that. Last weekend, I want to go first into wishing you a happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Yes.
And you did a birthday ride last weekend.
I did. And in true wonderful fashion, I had one friend join me on my birthday ride.
Was it me?
Thank you, Sean. Sean O'Mara joined me. But we went up to Alma, and folks familiar with Maisie's Pride or past editions of Dirty Kanza, we've been up to Wabaunsee County. We've ridden in that area, and it is fantastic. The Flint Hills continue up into Wabaunsee, our neighbors to the north, and we just did a 40-mile ride, but it was a tough 40 because they don't have any floodplains up there. It's straight climbing.
A lot of climbing and a lot of big rocks up there.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. Well, good. Recovered?
Yeah. Feeling pretty good, but I'm not just sad and lonely. All of my friends were at Gravel Worlds.
Right.
So
right. We all, a lot of us went to Gravel Worlds. Yeah. Good. You know, there was probably 6 or 7 of us. Went from Emporia up to Gravel Worlds up in Lincoln, Nebraska. 150-mile race up there, and as always, had a blast up there. Really did. It's tough riding. I mean, it's we're not used to the sandy gravel, and it's up there is at least a half-inch of sand underneath the gravel in most places, and some places, I don't know, 2 inches of sand underneath there, and it grabs your tires a little bit. So, but it was a lot of fun.
Now, Gravel Worlds, is this the official World Championships of gravel?
I would say that no, it's not the official World Championships. There's still room for an official, to have a tournament at the end of the year, Gravel World Championships. But I will say this, it is
unsanctioned, off the cuff, that's gravel.
My opinion is that it's a great event that's put on. It's a great ride with friends, and that's what it turns out to be. You get a lot of gravel friends that come up from a lot of different regions, and you spend the day riding with gravel friends. Every 20 to 25 miles, there's a nice stop, well stocked, great volunteers, friendly people, and you're eating pickles at one stop. They got tacos at another stop. Cucumber water at some stops. It's a great time. It really is. So, got to make it up there at least once. So.
And instead of celebrating my birthday, you took producer Matt up there as well, right? You guys were able to get some good footage?
Yeah, producer Matt and David went up there, and Matt bought me a beer for your birthday. So nice. I did drink that for you. I'm sure you can have one someday. So maybe on my birthday you can have a beer.
Someday when I'm old enough.
But yes, Matt and David went up there from Gravel Guru, and they got some great interviews that we're going to talk about today. They got some great highlights. We're going to probably lead in. I think we're going to lead in here with a 90-second highlight reel. So let's see what happened.
Gravel Guru fans, thanks for following along with us on our 2016 Gravel Worlds adventure. Here's your highlights in 90 seconds.
You don't have a stop sign. We also have
Well, it looks fantastic up there.
It was. I was there.
Good. Well, we're also able to catch up, as you mentioned earlier. We've got some interviews, and first off, why not start with the men's overall champion, Rob Hoopty Evans from California. And this seems to be a growing trend now. I mean, last year's Dirty Kanza, 2 California winners, Yuri and Amanda. This year, Dirty Kanza, 2 California winners, Ted King, who is a California transplant, but Amanda then repeated. And now, so these West Coasters they're getting the gravel. They're
That's
coming
it.
over.
I'm going to the West Coast. I'm going to take over
it.
their events.
That's what it takes.
If you have a donut race, Hoopty, if you have a donut race in California, I'm coming to race you to the donuts.
Sounds like a challenge. Well, let's hear from Rob.
I definitely expected the wind, and the cooler temperatures played into my favorite being ocean-born. You know, we're kind of used to the lighter temperatures. I had a lot of anxiety with the humidity and the heat were going to be a problem, you know, but this is just like a normal Northern California day. It wasn't bad at all. Right from the start, you know, the rain last night made everything really tacky, and there's just rocks flying everywhere. You couldn't see anything, you know, and being from the West Coast, I don't know any of these guys, you know, so it's hard to tell who's strong, who's not. And you kind of just got to follow everybody, you know, so that made it a little bit tricky.
Nice.
There was kind of a mud section, and each of us kind of had different bikes, rode it a little bit different. The guy from KHS had a road bike with just no clearance, so he was just done, you know, and then there was one last mud section that I decided to just pin it and ride, and he walked it instead, and that was kind of the deciding factor. But it was a big risk, you know, I mean, my bike instantly got clogged up, and like something can go wrong so fast, you know, so I just kind of gambled, and it ended up paying off. This bike's been a game changer for me personally, just something different, getting kind of sick of the same old road racing year in, year out. You know, I've done it forever, and seeing this kind of stuff come up, we've got a lot of these kind of races on the West Coast that are just so much fun, so much camaraderie. You know, you're not going to get your ass kicked by some team every week. It's really much more of a individual event, and everyone hangs out and has beers afterwards, so it's much more my speed.
It was great hearing from Rob. Well-earned first place at Gravel Worlds. So next up, we were able to talk with Ashton and learn a little about his ride.
So I kind of started off like, I generally ride by myself, so when I felt good right at the start, I just kind of put in a good dig and looked back, and I had like 30 seconds, and then I just kind of rode at my own pace and had about 5 minutes, I think, at one point. And then I kind of started slowing down like when we started heading west after the tailwind section, and then I like stopped for a bathroom break and looked back, and I could see Rob and Eno, which worked out really well because they had just put in an attack on the main group. And so I knew at that point we were turning into going north, and I really didn't want to tackle that headwind section by myself, because it makes a lot more sense if you're going to be in a group to do it with a headwind section, and I'd way rather ride with like a small group than like 30 guys. So then, yeah, I ended up riding with them for pretty much the rest of the day, and there was that deciding mud section that Rob, you know, took the risky route and won and made it, and I played it safe and took second. So I was like, when I saw that, I've had 2 major like mechanicals in a race. I couldn't finish land run because I broke my derailleur, and I broke my derailleur in mile 5 of the Dirty Kanza, and that cost me like 20 minutes. And so I've been really trying to like every time there's a mud section like really play it safe. It was a crunch time decision. I was planning on finishing Huckleberry Finn, but I listened to Lord of the Rings. It's classic, man.
Yeah, well, that's what you listened to last time we interviewed you when you won.
This is my 3rd time listening to it.
Okay, Maisie's that time. So, anything else you'd like to add about today?
It was fun. It was a great event. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Always good to hear from Ashton, just up the road there at Sunflower and Lawrence.
I can't believe he listened to
ride.
The Hobbit.
Well, it served him well at Maisie's.
Ashton, if you had watched Monsters University instead, or listened to the book Monsters University instead, you would have won. That's all I'm saying.
That's a book as well.
I'm sure there is a kid's book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Next, we got to hear from the women's gravel world champion, Kei Takashita. And not only did she do fantastic, win the women's ride, but she was top 20 overall.
Now really fast because I tried to keep up with the fast boys, then it was really fast and I got dropped so many times that I felt like I'm burning matches already. And then eventually I got dropped, and somebody caught up with me, then I got dropped again, then somebody caught up with me, I got dropped again, but I was somewhat closer to the front, and I eventually had lots of solo time. And So I had someone to ride with at the very end, although it was really tough.
Thanks, Kay. I would say the most anticipated race of the weekend and the most talked about on social media was the Tandem bicycle race.
I mean, this was some Don King level hype here. This was the showdown, and I think it is amazing the fact that the Tandem class can get this level of competition. So, who did we have? The reigning champs, Tim Moan and Christy Moan, and the challengers, Jay and Tracy Petervary.
Yeah.
Let's hear from them.
It was a lot of different things. It was a little soft. It was hard work. Jay definitely had a headwind. And it was fun.
Yeah, it was a powerful ride today. You know, the gravel's definitely a little bit soft, and on a tandem with 2 wheels, you definitely sink more. So it was a powerful ride, and it was great too because, I mean, you know, defending champions were close by, and so that just kind of makes it fun too. And, you know, we seen them at the very last checkpoint mile. We didn't see them all day, and then we seen them at mile 22. And honestly, I thought maybe we had more space than that between us. And just as we were leaving, they were come pulling in, so it was kind of neat. And we kind of just hammered out the last 20 miles, and yeah, it was a great day out there. I mean, weather was awesome and just sweet.
It's nice and cool and breezy.
Breezy.
That there was a huge section, is a northwest wind, and the whole section going west and then back north from mile 50 to mile 100, 50 miles of west and then north. And it was just brutal, hill after hill.
And it was really soft.
And soft because it rained last night, and yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, but not hot. So yeah. I would have been happy with anywhere within 30 minutes of them, and to be 8 minutes back.
Yeah, Jay and Tracy are
they are
super
badasses,
solid, so
and
it's fun.
So that makes me feel good.
Let's get ready for question and answers.
I thought you were going to sing.
No, shook it up.
Okay.
I like to keep you. I tell you one thing, and then go a different direction. Squirrel.
Okay.
Exactly. Oh man, got to open it this time.
He spit all over it. Look at that. That's quality.
Wow. Man, I love, do you love getting the questions? It's my favorite. And he loves lamp. All right, Bobby, question number 1 coming at you. I'm going to be buying shoes. I'm not, but this particular follower is. Should I consider getting mountain bike style shoes or more of a road style? Which is more appropriate for gravel events like the DK?
With as many B roads as is trending on these gravel races, everybody loves B roads, everybody loves the ruts, everybody loves chances of mud, inclement weather. I have gone back to mountain bike shoes. They're more comfortable when you're walking, running, mudding, everything else. I actually tried I tried road shoes for a half a season, and I just tore them to shreds just walking on the gravel. It was too hard to clean the mud out, so I went back to mountain bike style shoes.
Yeah, and for those of you not familiar with gravel riding, make no mistake, mud or no mud, you have a very high chance of walking at some point. These climbs are steep, they can be loose, these rides are long, and they can oftentimes be hot. So ego aside, you can say you're not going to walk all you want to, but sometime you will probably walk in a gravel event. And it's best to have those mountain bike shoes.
I'd say comfort is really the most important thing on these long races. So, okay, question number 2. As a new rider, should I be going on shorter rides daily or a max distance weekly? Is the question. I'm assuming he or she is talking about trying to get faster and in better shape.
Yeah, well, as a general rule of thumb, for exercise, frequency is pretty darn important. So if the question is, should I do distance aside, because your distance can equal the same, but there's 2 different ways to get there. So if 100 miles is the goal, you can do 3 or 4, 25 to 30 mile rides, or you can do 1 century on the weekend. Particularly for a newer rider, you should absolutely be doing more frequent, shorter rides and build yourself up to those longer rides.
No, I absolutely agree. I am in much better shape this year, and this year I have focused just on the 18 to 25 mile ride 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So
get that frequency in.
Yep.
Okay, question number 3. Oh, I love it. All right, Bobby, question number 3 is a 3-parter. So here we go.
Count to 3.
How many bikes do you own? What bikes do you want to own? And how many bikes are you allowed by your wife to own?
My wife watches the show.
Well, now the world's going to know, including your wife.
Okay, well then I will answer in a way that won't get me killed. So, how many bikes do I own?
Does your wife know about all of them?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, I have a big shop. You can hide a lot of things in the shop. I think, without taking up too much time, I think I probably own, I have 2 little girls also. So if you're talking about how many bikes did the family own, I think we own about 7 or 8 bikes. If you're talking about how many bikes I personally own and ride,
about the Casual Cyclist.
then I have, I believe, 5. 5 that I own. They're not all
5 of the 7 or 8 are Bobby's bikes.
Right. So, I mean, some of them are just fun playing around the neighborhood bikes, so cruiser type things. But yes, I do own, I think 5 is how many I own. One of the parts was what bikes would I like to own?
Want to own?
I'd still like to get a tandem. Hopefully next year, maybe the powder keg next year, and I'd still like to get just for fun. I'd like to get a fat bike. I don't have a fat bike yet.
And I will mention to you and to our viewers that Salsa has some wonderful closeout prices. Many fat bikes of all sizes available. Check that out.
Sweet.
Okay.
And how many bikes does my wife want me to own?
How many does she allow you to own?
She allows me to own 1.
5, apparently. Oh. She allows you to have 1, and you go for 5.
So you do the math, and let's hope that she doesn't watch the show. So go ahead.
Okay, how many bikes do I own? I've got a Salsa Cutthroat, Salsa Bear Grease, a Redline Monocog, a Trek Boon, still, although I need to get that sold, Cannondale Tandem, and a sweet old Montgomery Ward for cruising around.
Is that a classic yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably so. What do I want to own? That's a really tough question. I wish I could even answer it today because I've kind of got everything in the quiver that I need to. Although Salsa has come out with some new and exciting stuff for 2017 that has piqued my interest. I don't know right now. I couldn't say one bike that I want to own right now.
Lame.
Gotta give some thought to that.
How many bikes are you allowed to own?
Here's the bittersweet part of it. How many bikes my wife allows me to own? Probably as many as I wanted to get because she's only an inch shorter than me, which means we ride the same size of bike. So my bikes are her bikes.
That's like cheating.
I know.
Okay.
So she's like, yeah, go get whatever you want because then she gets to ride it.
How do you prepare for riding in cooler weather? Apparently, because the temperatures have dipped down into the 80s, we need to talk about cooler. No, I'm joking. So go, yeah.
This had to have come from our friends in Alaska.
Yeah.
It might be cool enough for some folks. It has been cooling down around here, but it's actually just tolerable to go out in your short sleeve jersey and shorts. So, but here's the quick and dirty, and we'll definitely follow up here as we move into fall with some segments on winter layering. But layering is the key. Start out with items that can be peeled off easily. Arm warmers can be rolled down. Vests can be taken off and rolled up and put in there. So think about what can be removed as either your body temperature rises, or if you're going out for a long ride, it might start cool and then heat up as you go on, and so the temperatures might rise outside. So layering, things that you can peel off.
As we all know, I'm a big fan of tearaway clothing. Ooh. So whatever can be torn off quickly, I like. Arm warmers, knee warmers, you don't have to jump straight into the sub-freezing clothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Look for more on that topic in the future, I'd imagine. Okay, Bobby, what is the best way of picking the right seat for your bike?
I'm still learning that. Picking the right seat for your bike for me it depends on what kind of ride you're going to do that day. So I actually have a couple different saddles that I put on the bike for different things, and it's mostly because I am comfortable with each saddle in a particular instance. So I have a saddle that is 5 years old, well worn, and I've done a lot of century rides on it, and I tend to put that back on, throw that back on when I go on a long ride. So, and I have a brand new Brooks that I absolutely love, and I tend to do that on every other ride. So it's definitely a matter of preference, I think. But I'm sure there is a technique to being fit for a saddle and everything else. So.
Absolutely. In no particular order, here's my my do's and don'ts, I guess, or my tips for buying a seat. Don't always listen to your friends. What works for them does not mean it will work for you. If you can, try before you buy. A good shop should have some demo saddles in the lines that they carry so that you can try it out before you buy it. Because it is such a personal choice, yes, you can get fit and they have ways to measure your sit bones and all that sort of stuff, but there's a lot of saddles that are the right measurement. It doesn't mean they're the right fit for your body. And lastly, if you can, even after you've tried it, you've been fit, all that, look for a company. Hopefully the one that works for you does have a return policy, and some companies do have that, where you can test it out for 30 days, and then if it's still after ample trying, it does not work for you, you can take it back. Hopefully that's the case. So when all else fails, at least try to do those things.
Perfect. I agree.
I think you're up. Am I up?
What will be on the playlist for the road trip to Rebecca's private Idaho? Apparently someone has been watching my social media and knows that we're going to Rebecca's private Idaho soon.
We are next week.
What is on your playlist for Rebecca's private Idaho?
Here's
the long road trip.
For the road trip up there. Here's all the viewers need to know. PPB, People's Punk Band. I'm riding with none other than the front man of said band. Punk is not dead. T-Moan, PBB.
Wow.
Check it out. Get down.
I'm not sure you should be the official spokesperson for PPB.
I think that was as punk as it gets right there.
How's that? In my car, it will be, I'm riding separate from this gentleman here.
Justin Bieber.
I happen to know the lyrics to a lot of Justin Bieber songs. Yes, yeah.
He's still cool in the Thompson household.
He's still cool in the Thompson household.
His legal troubles.
It is. It is the Kids Bop version, so it's not actually the Beeb singing the songs. It's just the Beeb's lyrics. But I will be listening to whatever songs I know the lyrics for, because I will be annoying those with me with whatever I want to sing myself.
So it's sing-along time for 20 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the questions. We are going to Rebecca's private Idaho this weekend.
Yes.
And
it's going to be amazing. This is my 4th time, and it's the 4th running of RPI. So I've been, hear that, Reba? I've been there every time. And I love going back up for this event. It's a bit of a drive for us, but it is well worth it. Admittedly, after the first year, I learned that the single track was equally as impressive as the gravel out of Sun Valley. And so I take the fat bike and I do a little trail riding and I do a little gravel riding, and it's a fantastic event.
Yeah. You know, one thing I do, I really want to encourage those new to gravel to get out and try the events that have a little bit of a road trip, a little bit of traveling to it. The scenery is beautiful up in Ketchum. The town is awesome. The townsfolk are awesome. The road trip is a great bonding experience, and last year I went and had a blast. It's nothing, the terrain is nothing like we would be able to ride here in Kansas. I wouldn't say it's necessarily any harder or easier, it's just different, and had a blast last year.
You said that earlier. This isn't about better or worse. Mm-hmm. All the gravel is different, from Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, the Midwestern states, to the West Coast, to the mountains. Everyone's got a little bit of gravel, but that gravel is defined a little bit differently. But the events all carry the same kind of theme, and that's what makes them all really fantastic. But there's a lot to explore out there.
Absolutely. So, yes, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we will bring you some wrap-up info on RPI in a couple weeks.
Try to get some footage.
Absolutely. So,
send us your questions, send us your thoughts, let us know what you want to hear about. Contact Mr. Casual Cyclist, Bobby Thompson over here. You reach out to me, Leland Danes, if you'd like. Reach out to producer Matt, Gravel Guru.
Matt's back there. Hi, Matt.
Hi. Hashtag this is gravel. Tag, do the social media stuff. Let us know you're listening, watching, viewing.
Sing us a song. I want to hear a song. Give me a song. Give me a road play song. Road trip song.
Sing us a song. You're the gravel man.
That's just bad.
Sing us a
See you
song.
later.